In the depths of our consciousness, there lies a question that few dare to ask, yet it haunts all who seek the truth. What if everything we know about our existence is a lie? What if the world we see is nothing but an elaborate illusion designed to keep us trapped, yearning for answers that never come? Could it be that the very fabric of our reality, our beliefs, and even our souls have been manipulated by forces beyond our comprehension? For centuries, the truths of the universe have been hidden from us. The ancient Gnostic texts, buried deep by those who feared their power, speak of a world controlled not by a loving creator, but by a Demiurge, a flawed and egotistical entity whose sole purpose is to keep us blind, ignorant, and obedient. We are told that our very souls have been stolen from us, stripped of the divine knowledge of who we truly are and where we truly come from. But why? Why would such a thing happen? Imagine this. The world we live in is not a paradise, but a prison. Our bodies, our desires, our constant search for material satisfaction, these are the chains that bind us to the material world. And the worst part? We have been taught to worship those chains, to believe that this world is all there is. But what if the truth is far more powerful than we've ever been told? In this video, you will uncover the shocking truth about the Demiurge and how it has orchestrated our spiritual imprisonment. Together, we will explore the ancient wisdom hidden in the Gnostic teachings, revealing how the forces of control, both seen and unseen, have shaped our reality. You will learn why we feel the constant emptiness, the endless chase for meaning, and how the path to true freedom lies within us all. This isn't just about understanding the world. We're talking about awakening to your true nature, the divine spark buried deep inside you. The key to unlocking this knowledge lies in Nosis, the deep, internal realization that will free us from the prison of the material world. This knowledge is not for the faint-hearted, for it will challenge everything you've ever believed. But in seeking this truth, we find freedom. As we dive deeper into this ancient mystery, I invite you to reflect on this. What if your soul's journey wasn't about accumulating wealth or status, but about remembering who you truly are? Stay with me, and let's peel back the layers of deception together. The truth is waiting for those brave enough to see it. The truth about the origin of our souls is a mystery as ancient as time itself, a truth buried beneath layers of illusion and forgotten knowledge. For centuries, we have been taught that our souls are gifts from a benevolent creator, sent into this world to experience life and grow. But what if the true origin of our souls is something far more profound, something that has been deliberately obscured to keep us trapped in a cycle of ignorance and fear? In the ancient Gnostic teachings, we are told that our souls were once part of a divine realm, a place of pure knowledge and light, connected to the source of all creation. This divine spark, this part of us that is eternal and pure, once existed in harmony with the cosmos. But something happened. Something took us away from our true nature, stole our connection to the divine, and cast us into this material world. We were stripped of our knowledge, our memories, and most importantly, our awareness of who we truly are. The Gnostics called this the stolen soul, a profound loss of self-awareness and divine connection. We entered this world as amnesiacs, wandering without a map, unaware of the infinite potential and divine power that resides within us. We are told that our souls are imprisoned in bodies, trapped in a world of distractions, suffering, and endless desires. These desires, the hunger for success, for validation, for material wealth, are all distractions designed to keep us from awakening to our true nature. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you chased after something only to find that when you finally attain it, it brings no lasting fulfillment? The world tells us that happiness lies in external things, money, status, possessions, but the Gnostics warn us that these are mere illusions designed to keep us looking outward, away from the divine spark within. We are like children chasing after shadows, never realizing that the light we seek is already inside us. This is where the Gnostic teachings offer a radically different perspective on life. They suggest that the reason we feel empty, despite our material achievements, is because our souls were meant for something far greater than the physical world can offer. Our true purpose is not to accumulate wealth or fame, but to remember who we are, to reconnect with the divine realm from which we came. This awakening, this Gnosis, is the key to breaking free from the prison of the material world and reclaiming our true power. In this moment of realization, we must pause and reflect. What if the emptiness we feel isn't a flaw, but a signal? What if it's the soul calling us back to our true self? The world may not offer us the answers we seek, but the answers lie within, waiting for us to awaken. Now, as we move deeper into this journey, let us turn our attention to the architect of this material world, the entity known as the Demiurge. In the Gnostic tradition, the Demiurge is not the benevolent creator that many of us have been taught to worship. Rather, it is a lesser god, a flawed and ego-driven being whose sole purpose is to keep us imprisoned in this physical realm. The Demiurge created the material world not as a gift to us, but as a trap, a prison, to keep us bound to the illusion of separateness from the divine. The Demiurge is a master of deception, a cosmic jailer who designed the world to keep us ignorant of our true nature. This entity craves worship and obedience, and it uses the distractions of the material world, fear, desire, pain, and pleasure, to keep us focused on survival rather than spiritual awakening. Our bodies, our desires, our constant need for external validation, all of these are part of the Demiurge's design to keep us locked in the illusion of separateness. In this world, the Demiurge reigns supreme. It has built a reality where suffering is inevitable, and the pursuit of happiness is an endless cycle. We are conditioned to believe that happiness lies in external achievements, success, wealth, relationships, when in reality, these pursuits are mere distractions from the truth that lies within us. The more we chase these illusions, the further we move away from our true nature. And the more we feel trapped in the cycle of desire and suffering, the more we feed the power of the Demiurge, strengthening its hold on our souls. But the Gnostics did not see this as a hopeless situation. They believed that, even in the face of the Demiurge's control, there is a way out. The key to escaping the trap of the material world lies in awakening to the truth within ourselves. This truth, this knowledge, Gnosis, is the light that can break the chains of the Demiurge's prison. It's not a knowledge that can be found in books or through external teachings. It is an inner knowing, a direct experience of the divine truth that lies within each of us. The Gnostics believed that when we reconnect with this inner knowledge, we begin to see the world for what it truly is, a temporary illusion designed to keep us from remembering our divine nature. This awakening is the path to freedom, a freedom that comes from within, not from external circumstances. But how do we begin this journey of awakening? How do we break free from the prison of the material world and the control of the Demiurge? The first step is to recognize that we are not our bodies, our desires, or our external circumstances. We are divine beings, connected to a higher reality, a reality that transcends the physical world. This realization is the beginning of Gnosis, the beginning of our journey back to our true self. As we embark on this journey, we must remember that the world around us is not the ultimate truth. It is an illusion, a distraction created by the Demiurge to keep us from awakening. The real truth lies within, waiting for us to discover it. And as we begin to awaken to this truth, we begin to free ourselves from the control of the Demiurge and the illusions of the material world. The Demiurge may have created this world to keep us imprisoned, but it cannot control our souls. Our true nature is divine, and no force in this world can take that away from us. The key to freedom lies within each of us. in the divine spark that connects us to the source of all creation. And so the journey begins, a journey of awakening, a journey of remembering, a journey of reclaiming our divine inheritance. The path may not always be easy, but it is the path to true freedom, the path to remembering who we truly are. And as we walk this path, we can be assured that we are not alone. The light of truth is always with us, guiding us back to our true home. As we continue this journey together, let us remember that the material world is not our true home. We are divine beings, meant for something far greater than the illusions of this world. The key to breaking free from the control of the Demiurge lies within us, in the knowledge that we are connected to something much greater than ourselves. This knowledge is the key to our freedom, and it is waiting for us to awaken. In the grand tapestry of existence, our physical bodies are often seen as vessels that carry us through this world, allowing us to experience all it has to offer. Yet, in the Gnostic tradition, our bodies are more than mere vessels. They are anchors, chains that keep us bound to the material realm, preventing our souls from reaching their true potential. It is here in this paradox that we find one of the greatest truths hidden from us. Our bodies, the very things we depend on, are also the greatest distractions in our quest for spiritual enlightenment. From the moment we are born, we are thrust into a world driven by the needs of the body, the need for food, for sleep, for comfort. The body demands attention, and we are taught from a young age to cater to its every whim. But what if the body, in all its demands, was never meant to lead us to fulfillment? What if instead the body was designed to keep us in a perpetual state of distraction, to prevent us from remembering who we truly are? The Gnostics believed that the body was not a gift, but a prison, carefully crafted by the Demiurge to trap our divine souls. The relentless cycle of hunger, sleep, fear, and desire serves as a constant reminder that we are bound to the physical world, and it is only by breaking free from these distractions that we can access the higher knowledge that awaits us. The body, in its constant need for satisfaction, keeps us focused outward, always chasing after things that never truly fulfill us. How many times have we felt that familiar emptiness even after satisfying our deepest desires? This is the cycle of distraction, the illusion that the body's needs must come first when, in reality, our souls long for something far greater. Imagine for a moment how much of your life is spent catering to the body. You wake, you eat, you work, you sleep, and repeat. You chase the next meal, the next pleasure, the next material goal, always thinking that if you just get the next thing, you'll feel complete. Yet, even when you attain everything you ever wanted, there's still an emptiness, a void that nothing in this physical world can fill. This is the trap, the very thing that keeps us locked in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The more we focus on the body's needs, the further we stray from our true nature. But the Gnostic path offers us something more. It tells us that we are not our bodies. We are not the flesh and the bones, the hunger and the fear, the desires and the cravings. We are divine sparks of consciousness, eternal beings who have simply forgotten who we truly are. Our true nature is not confined to the body, it transcends it. And it is only when we begin to detach from the constant demands of the body that we can start to reconnect with the divine knowledge that lies dormant within us. This is the path of Gnosis, the awakening of inner knowledge, the remembering of our divine origin. It is not a knowledge that comes from external teachings, from books, or from gurus. It is a knowledge that comes from within, from the depths of our soul. It is the process of peeling back the layers of illusion that the Demiurge has placed upon us. It is the process of breaking free from the prison of the material world and remembering our connection to the divine. The journey to Gnosis is not easy. It requires us to confront the lies we've been told, to question the values we've been taught, and to step away from the constant noise of the material world. It requires us to look within, to silence the mind and listen to the voice of our soul. But in doing so, we begin to reconnect with the divine knowledge that has been hidden from us. We begin to remember who we truly are, and in that remembering, we break free from the chains that bind us. The path to Gnosis is a path of self-discovery, a path of inner awakening. It is the realization that we are not separate from the divine, but that we are a part of it. We are not mere mortals struggling through life. We are divine beings, born to experience the fullness of existence and to awaken to our true nature. The more we focus on the body and the material world, the further we stray from this truth. But when we turn inward, when we begin to listen to the whispers of our soul, we begin to remember the divine spark within us. This is the promise of Gnosis, the promise of awakening to the truth of who we really are. It is the path to freedom, freedom from the distractions of the body and the material world. It is the journey back to the divine, back to the source from which we came. As we continue down this path, we must remember that the material world is not our true home. It is not the ultimate reality, but a temporary illusion created by the Demiurge to keep us trapped. The true reality, the divine reality, lies beyond the physical world, and it is only by awakening to this higher truth that we can break free from the prison of the material realm. In the pursuit of Gnosis, we must learn to detach from the body's demands and the distractions of the world. We must learn to silence the mind, to stop chasing after the endless desires that keep us tethered to this reality. We must look within to the divine spark that resides in the depths of our soul and begin the journey of remembering. This is the path to true freedom, the freedom that comes when we reconnect with the divine and break free from the cycle of suffering and rebirth. The world may try to tell us that happiness lies in external achievements, in the pursuit of wealth and power. But the Gnostics knew the truth. True happiness, true fulfillment, lies in the awakening of our divine nature, in the remembrance of who we truly are. The body may try to keep us trapped, but our souls are eternal, and nothing in this world can take away the divine spark that resides within us. As we walk this path of awakening, we must remember that we are not alone. The light of truth is always with us, guiding us back to our true home. The more we embrace this inner truth, the more we will find peace, love, and joy in our lives. The journey to Gnosis is the journey back to our divine essence, the journey to freedom from the illusions of the material world. As we begin to awaken to the truth within, let us remember that we are not bound by the body, the material world, or the distractions that keep us trapped. We are divine beings, connected to a higher reality, and it is only by awakening to this truth that we can break free from the prison of the physical world. The journey to Gnosis is the path to true freedom, the freedom that comes from remembering who we truly are. In the depths of the material world, there exists a force that has long kept humanity in chains, an unseen force that governs, controls, and manipulates us in ways we often do not recognize. This force is embodied in the structures of religious organizations, institutions that claim to offer spiritual salvation, but in reality serve as gatekeepers, ensuring that the masses remain ignorant of their true nature. These institutions, rather than guiding us toward enlightenment, seek only to maintain power, control, and obedience. From the very beginning, these religious structures set the stage for a system that reinforces the prison of the material world. Instead of pointing us inward toward the divine spark that resides within each of us, they direct our focus outward toward rituals, dogmas, and external authorities. The message is clear. Salvation comes only through compliance to these external systems, and without them, we are lost. This is a lie, and it is a lie that has been perpetuated for centuries. The Gnostics, in their wisdom, saw through this deception. They understood that true liberation comes not through obedience to external authorities, but through the awakening of the inner divine knowledge that resides within us all. But this knowledge was dangerous. So dangerous, in fact, that those in power could not allow it to spread. They sought to suppress these teachings, to burn the sacred texts, and to label those who dared to question the system as heretics. The Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary, On the Origin of the World, these texts contained the seeds of awakening, the truth that would set us free. But those in power were determined to keep this truth hidden, for in its revelation lay the potential to shatter their control over the masses. This suppression was not a random act of fear. It was a deliberate and calculated move to keep humanity in a state of dependence and ignorance. By controlling the narrative of salvation and defining who could and could not access the divine, religious institutions turned spiritual freedom into a commodity. They became the gatekeepers, the ones who determined who could ascend to the divine and who was left to suffer in the material world. This is not the work of a loving, benevolent creator. This is the work of those who seek to control, to keep us blind to the truth of our own divine nature. But this system, this structure built on lies and manipulation, is not invincible. In fact, it is fragile, because the truth cannot be suppressed forever. The truth lies within each of us, and it is only a matter of time before it begins to surface. As we awaken to the reality of who we are, as we begin to see through the illusions that have been placed upon us, the power of these institutions begins to fade. The more we seek the truth within, the more we free ourselves from their grip. And yet, even as we begin to wake up, there is another force at play, one that seeks to keep us trapped in the cycle of ignorance, a force that thrives on our distractions, fears, and desires. These are the Archons, the entities that serve the Demiurge, the cosmic jailers who ensure that the material world remains a prison for our souls. The Archons are not visible to the naked eye, but their influence is felt in every corner of our lives. They are the forces behind the societal structures that condition us to seek external validation, to chase after material success, and to believe that our worth is determined by the things we have rather than the truth of who we are. They thrive on fear, envy, and desire, feeding off the negative emotions that keep us trapped in the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Every time we give in to our fears or desires, every time we chase after something that cannot truly fulfill us, we feed the Archons, giving them more power to keep us in the illusion. These forces, however, are not invincible. The Archons, like the religious institutions that serve them, are dependent on our ignorance and our fear. As we begin to wake up, as we begin to see the world for what it truly is, their power begins to wane. The more we recognize the illusion, the more we disengage from the distractions and fears that keep us locked in the cycle, the more we free ourselves from their grasp. The Archons thrive on our attachment to the material world, to the idea that happiness and fulfillment come from external sources. But the Gnostic teachings remind us that true fulfillment comes from within. It comes from the realization that we are not separate from the divine, that we are not bound by the material world, and that our true nature is far greater than the bodies we inhabit and the possessions we accumulate. The journey to self-realization, to Gnosis, is the path to freedom from the Archons and their control. It is the path to breaking free from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth that the Demiurge has created. And it begins with the recognition that the world we see, the world of pain, desire, and suffering, is not the ultimate reality. It is an illusion, a carefully crafted illusion designed to keep us distracted and disconnected from the divine truth within us. As we begin to awaken to this truth, we begin to see the world differently. We no longer seek happiness in external things because we realize that true happiness comes from within. We no longer feel the need to chase after the empty promises of the material world because we understand that the fulfillment we seek is already inside us. And as we continue on this path of awakening, we begin to break the chains that bind us to the material world, and we reclaim our divine power. But this journey is not without its challenges. The Archons are cunning, and they will do everything in their power to keep us from awakening. They will use fear, doubt, and distraction to keep us trapped in the cycle of the material world. But we must remember that we are not powerless. The truth is within us, and as we begin to seek it, we begin to reclaim our power. The more we recognize the illusion, the more we free ourselves from the grip of the Archons and the Demiurge. The path to liberation is not easy, but it is worth it. It is the path to remembering who we truly are, to reconnecting with the divine spark within us. And as we continue on this journey, we will find peace, love, and freedom. Freedom from the illusions that have kept us trapped, and freedom to live as the divine beings we were always meant to be. The world may try to distract us, to keep us focused on the empty pursuits of material success and external validation. But the truth lies within. And as we begin to awaken to this truth, we begin to break free from the cycle of suffering and embrace the freedom that comes from remembering who we truly are. The Archons, the Demiurge, and all the forces that seek to keep us trapped are powerless in the face of our awakening. The light of truth is within us, and as we shine that light, we begin to free ourselves and the world around us from the illusions that have held us captive for so long. As we come to the close of this journey, I want you to pause and reflect on the deeper truths we've uncovered together. We've ventured into the heart of Gnostic wisdom, uncovered the forces that have kept us trapped in the material world, and unearthed the divine spark that resides within us all. But this journey, while profound, is just the beginning. The awakening to our true selves, the remembering of our divine origin, is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process, one that requires us to look within, to question the narratives we've been taught, and to embrace the truth that we are not bound by the limitations of the material world. As you stand at the threshold of this truth, I want you to remember one thing: the divine spark within you cannot be extinguished. No force in this world, no system of control, no distraction, no external authority can take away your connection to the source of all creation. This is your birthright, the very essence of who you are. And the more you awaken to this truth, the more you begin to see the world for what it truly is: a temporary illusion designed to keep you distracted, fearful, and disconnected from your true nature. But now that you know, now that you've glimpsed the light of truth, you must walk the path of Gnosis, the path of self-discovery, of inner awakening, of remembering who you truly are. It is not an easy path, but it is the only path that leads to true freedom, true peace, and true fulfillment. And as you walk this path, remember that you are not alone. You are part of a much larger journey, one that spans the cosmos and connects all of us in our shared quest for truth. This video, these teachings, are a part of that larger journey. And if you feel that this message has touched your soul, that it has helped you see beyond the veil of illusion, I humbly invite you to support this channel. Every like, every comment, every subscription is more than just a click. It is an offering of energy, an acknowledgement that this work matters, that the light we are sharing is reaching you. If you feel that this message has brought you closer to the truth, if it has helped you find clarity in the midst of darkness, I ask that you share your energy with me so that I can continue creating more content that helps us all awaken to the divine truth within. The power of this message, the power of awakening, is something that cannot be measured in material terms, but every small gesture of support is a priceless contribution to this sacred work. Your energy, your presence, is a gift, and it fuels this mission to bring light into the world. And remember, this is not just about one video or one channel, it's about a movement, a collective awakening, a remembering of our true selves. As we close, I want to remind you that you are not defined by the material world, by your body, or by your circumstances. You are a divine being, a spark of the eternal source, and nothing in this world can take that away from you. The truth is within you, waiting to be uncovered, and as you continue on this path, you will find peace, love, and fulfillment like never before. So, if this video has touched you, if it has sparked something within your soul, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share. Let's continue this journey together, because the truth is out there, and it is within us all. Thank you from the depths of my heart for being a part of this community, for sharing your energy, and for walking this path with me. May the divine light guide you. May you always remember who you are, and may you find peace in the knowledge that you are never alone.